And we go live to Jerusalem now, where I'm joined by Gershon Baskin, a former hostage negotiator who now serves as Middle East Director at the International Communities Organization. Appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
So we are learning from Qatar that mediators are now discussing a different model for a Gaza ceasefire agreement, and this comes as Israel says it will only discuss a deal that will release all of the remaining hostages and end the war on Israel's terms and conditions. What does this indicate to you?
It indicates nothing, because the Israeli government and Prime Minister Netanyahu are not willing to make any agreement with Hamas. It's not on the table. It's not in the cards. The Israelis don't believe that they should make an agreement with Hamas. The strategy of the current Israeli government is to bring Hamas to total defeat. They want to see a white flag raised by Hamas in surrender. And the only problem is that that will never happen. Hamas will never surrender to Israel. And Netanyahu probably knows that. What Netanyahu's aim is to evacuate most of the Gaza Strip, to push all the Palestinians in Gaza, 2.2 million people, into the southwest corner of the Gaza Strip, and to wait for it to explode there so that people will cross over into Egypt and leave Gaza. The plans of this current Israeli government, and this has to be very clear because they're saying it, we have to believe them, is to resettle Gaza with Israelis, to make Gaza part of the state of Israel.
And Israel continues with its plans for a full-scale assault on Gaza City, mobilizing tens of thousands of reservists, even as an increasing number of Israeli soldiers are now refusing to participate in what they're calling Netanyahu's illegal war. How significant is this movement against Netanyahu ahead of the seizing of Gaza City?
It's unfortunately not significant enough. There were 40,000 soldiers who were called up yesterday. A few hundred of them signed a letter saying that they would not go to the army. They would not continue with Netanyahu's political war. It is not significant enough to stop it. And unfortunately, the countries of the world are not doing anything to stop it. And what's important to know is that the escalation has begun. Israel is bombing Gaza all day long. They are attacking the outskirts neighborhoods from the north, from the south. And they are not only going in with forces, but they are bulldozing everything in its way. The goal is to flatten the rest of Gaza. This is what the army of Israel is doing. These are the plans of the Israeli government.
And Israel is also considering the possible annexation of parts of the West Bank in retaliation for the anticipated recognition of a Palestinian state by a growing number of countries at this month's UN General Assembly. How likely is it that Israel would annex the West Bank? How far might they go? And what would be the likely response from Palestinians and the international community if they do go ahead and do that?
Well, I think the obviously outcome, if they do this, is that the recognition of the state of Palestine becomes irrelevant. If Israel is going to control all the land between the river and the sea, then the call for the international community will gradually, I think rapidly, move from supporting a two-state solution to supporting democracy for everyone who lives between the river and the sea. If Israel is declaring that this is its intention, that it will not allow the Palestinians to have self-determination and a state of their own next to Israel within the territories that Israel conquered in 1967, then the only logical outcome of the entire world, including the Israeli population, has to be democracy. Everyone living under one rule must have the same rights. We can't have two separate populations living under two separate rules, really converting Israel into an apartheid state. This is unacceptable. Now, we have a choice before us. That's to accept the two-state solution, which today is the only solution which brings about the conclusion, the resolution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, or continue doing what Israel is doing, which is breaching international law, denying the Palestinian people not only their right to self-determination, but their basic human rights. The International Court of Justice in The Hague already determined that the occupation from 1967 is not temporary. This is permanent. This is what Israel has done. It is illegal, and it must be stopped by the international community. If we're talking about retaliation for doing things that Israel doesn't like recognizing the state of Palestine, retaliation of the international community might be to unrecognize the state of Israel, or to demand that Israel guarantee democracy for everyone that it controls.
Gershon Baskin in Jerusalem, many thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.